The history of Babylon is much more than the tale of an ancient city. It is a representation of humanity itself, its ambitions, its achievements, and its failures. Throughout the centuries, Babylon has been the center of fascination for historians, archaeologists, and dreamers alike. In this video, we will explore the Great Babylon, a place of mystery, legend, and wonder that has endured in the collective imagination as one of the pillars of ancient civilization. What do you know about Babylon? You have probably heard of the Tower of Babel and the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, two of the most iconic elements of this civilization. But how did women live behind the walls of this great city? Why did men from all the nearby lands strive to reach Babylon on the special day that was known as the house where heaven meets earth? And more intriguingly, why did historians call Babylon the city of sin? In this video, we will discover the secrets that its ruins still hold and the lasting influences of its laws on today's society. The birth of Babylon. The history of Babylon begins with an Amorite leader named Yahur, who, leading a small tribe of shepherds, conquered a city called Bathil. The Greeks later renamed it Babylon. This first leader not only fortified the city, but built walls and dug canals to secure the water supply, transforming this small town into the base of what would become a vast kingdom. However, Babylon's true rise came under the reign of Hammurabi in the 18th century BC. Hammurabi, known for his ambitious conquests and reforms, created an empire that became a key political and cultural center in the ancient world. It was during this period that the famous Code of Hammurabi was established, a set of laws that regulated almost every aspect of daily life, from property to marriage. These laws were notoriously rigorous and detailed, and although they may seem harsh to us today, in their time they were seen as an attempt to provide justice and prevent chaos. One of the most notable aspects of Hammurabi's code was the protection of the most vulnerable. For example, if someone could not pay a debt, they could fall into slavery, but Hammurabi limited such slavery to 3 years, and he prohibited killing slaves. In his laws, Hammurabi also regulated professional conduct. Builders, for example, could be executed if their buildings caused deaths, and doctors received severe punishments if their operations failed. The structure of Babylonian society. Babylonian society was divided into several classes. The free, known as Ailum, were merchants, artisans, and peasants. The dependents, called Muskin, worked on royal lands and had limited rights, but could own personal property. The lowest class were slaves, known as Bardum, who were mainly prisoners of war, or people who fell into slavery for debt or crime. Although slaves were treated as property, they could own property, and the children of a slave and a free person could become heirs. The greatness of Babylon. Babylon was not only a cultural and political center, but also an economic power. Its location on the Euphrates River allowed for the development of agriculture, and its ability to build irrigation canals transformed the region into one of the most productive areas of ancient Mesopotamia. At the same time, the city was an active trading center, exporting products such as cereals, dates, oil, and crafts, while importing metals, stone, wood, slaves, and luxury items. Babylon was also famous for its contribution to knowledge, particularly in the fields of astrology and mathematics. The Babylonians studied the celestial bodies and their movements, convinced that these influenced the destiny of human beings. It was in Babylon that the sexagesimal system we use today was developed, such as 60 seconds in a minute or 60 minutes in an hour. The city itself was a marvel of engineering and architecture, with walls reaching 15 meters wide and 90 meters high, and covering an area of 440 square kilometers. Babylon was larger than many modern cities. Its most famous entrance was the Ishtar Gate, covered with blue glazed bricks and decorated with reliefs of bulls and lions, symbols of the city's strength and power. The Tower of Babel and its legend. Among the most legendary constructions of Babylon is the Tower of Babel. According to the Bible, this tower was built by the inhabitants of Babylon in an attempt to reach heaven. The story relates that, seeing their pride and ambition, God decided to punish the builders by confusing their languages, which led to the abandonment of the work. Although there is no archaeological evidence to confirm the existence of the Tower of Babel in the biblical sense, excavations have revealed ruins of a 91-meter-high structure that could have been the model for this legendary construction. The fall of Babylon. After its heyday, Babylon went through several periods of decline and restructuring. It was destroyed on several occasions, first by the Hittites and then by the Assyrians. However, Babylon was restored on several occasions, especially under Nebuchadnezzar II, who turned it back into one of the most powerful cities in the world. During his reign, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, were created, and the city reached its greatest splendor. In 539 BC, Babylon fell to the Persians, and although it became one of the capitals of the Achaemenid Empire, the Babylonians did not love their new rulers. Later, when Alexander the Great conquered the city, it was welcomed as a savior, but his untimely death prevented the realization of the grand plans he had for the city. After his death, Babylon was gradually forgotten and destroyed until it was reduced to ruins. The enduring legacies of Babylon. Despite its demise, Babylon left a lasting legacy. The influences of its legal code and its advances in mathematics and astronomy endure to this day. Its gardens, walls, and temples continue to be symbols of the splendor of a civilization that, although brief in history, had an impact that remains relevant. The greatness of Babylon, with its mysteries and secrets, remains one of the great legends of humanity. Although the city no longer exists in its original form, its history lives on in the tales and ruins left behind. Babylon's power, knowledge, and ambition continue to fascinate present and future generations, making it an eternal symbol of what humans can achieve and what they can lose. This has been just a glimpse into the history of Babylon, a city that continues to captivate our imagination. Don't forget to subscribe and like for more fascinating content about ancient civilizations. If this video has inspired you, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. And of course, share your experiences in the comments. Together we can build a strong and positive community. Thank you for joining us on this journey of growth and transformation. See you in the next video.